Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of the internet? It's Bossy here, bringing you guys another YouTube video back onto my channel. And today for you guys, I'm going to be doing another edition of Storytime is Fun Time, where I talk about things that have happened to me in the past, the things I've done in the past for your entertainment and storytime form. And as you can clearly tell, I'm still under the weather, sadly, but I'm still, kicking and screaming basically like a little bitch. And I'm trying to recover as fast as I can, but I want to say thank you to Volt Prodigy for uploading on yesterday's video. Oh, not yesterday's, but last video. A lot of people have been a little bit hating on him because he's not from around where I am. He has a little bit of an accent from Georgia, and you guys are kind of dicks for doing that. And then there's some losers that are still, hating on the comment section. But hey, go show him some love. He deserves it. He's a great guy. And yeah, there's that. So also, I'm going to be doing some Need for Speed gameplay in the background because it does tie in with this story, because it always has to do with cars. How I almost died. Before I get onto the story, I wanted to say, shout out my social media at ItsBassi on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Go at it. It's the same thing as my name as usual. And also, I'm going to be doing an 8K Q&A, which I have not done yet, but I will be leaving a link down in the description for you guys to go check that video out, so you guys can go comment down something on there, and basically we can have so much fun in like other videos. So yeah, with that said, let's get on to today's video. How I almost died. Now, I know I've made another video of how I almost died a long time ago, but this has nothing to do with it, but it still has to do with cars, because I have the shittiest luck. Actually, my entire family has the shittiest luck, because we have a thing called the Bossy curse, made by one of my friends, not Jerry69 on Twitter. He says that I have the Bossy curse because, well, my family has almost died a lot of times. My mom's almost died 2 times. My dad has almost died 3 times. My brother almost died 8 times. All of them being hit by either a car, truck, or a bus. 3 times was a bus. Yep, surprisingly, 3 times he's been hit by a bus. And no, it was not in the United States. It was in Colombia, so it was just, a hit and run, and bam, it was gone. My sister's been hit by a car once. My other sister drove straight into a tree after she swerved off the road by a deer. And then my other brother almost died as well. We've all had really shitty luck with life and almost like made love with the Grim Reaper at a fucking Tuesday night, basically. And we just don't have the best luck in life. I mean, I wish I had the best luck when it comes to the lottery, but hey, I have the best luck when it comes to reaching death. Shit, right? Anyways, that said, that's a little bit of a background info of my terrible life. So yeah, the way the story plays out is that one day I left school early, because I always leave school early because I always have this thing called OJT, which is on the job training, which lets me leave 1 hour early from school to go do whatever I want to do, because I have a job. So I say I'm going to go to my job, but I really don't go to my job. Nobody ever goes to their jobs. They simply just use that as an excuse to leave and have an hour for fun. So usually I take this time to go to the gym, but decided to go to the barbershop this specific day. Now, my barber used to be like 5 minutes away from my house, but then he had to move to go get his own store because he was paying rent to somebody else. But then he bought his own store in buttfuck Egypt, and I had to drive a 20-minute journey just to go get a nice ass cut. So I was okay with this, and I was just driving my Mustang. So yeah, this is a pretty old story that I still had a Mustang back then, and I was driving my Mustang all the way over there on the expressway, which just makes it like a 10-minute drive. So I was just having fun, and I noticed that it was gonna rain, but I didn't take I didn't put any attention to it, and I just continued on my journey, and I went straight to the barbershop, went in, got my haircut, gave him his money, and I was smiling because I took hella selfies back then. But yeah, so after that, I noticed that since my haircut took like an hour, school already ended, and there's a lot of people on their way home, so the expressway was packed. So I didn't even bother going on the expressway, so I just ignored that and I started taking the back roads until I reached a major intersection. Now, when I was driving the back roads, you know that there's no cops and there's no traffic in the back roads, so I decided to put my car on track mode, which makes my car faster because it puts more power to the wheels, and also it removes traction control, which, if you guys don't know what traction control is, it's what makes you not slip on the road and keeps you still, basically. And I took that off so I can take the corners way easier and pretend like I'm a fucking race car driver like Ricky Bobby or something like that. And basically I kept that off, and I forgot to take it off, turn it back on right after it started raining, and I was noticing that my car was a little bit skiddy at stop signs when I just floored it because of the rain. And the floors are wet in the back roads because, one, there's a lot of I don't know how to describe it, but like the roads easily get muddy and flooded and it's really not that good for a car as low as mine. It basically is just a death sentence for me, but I chose to ignore it, and I reached the major intersection where I was waiting to turn left. So when I was turning left, I was just waiting there, and finally the light turned green, and I turned at that major intersection. And right as I was turning, in the middle of the intersection, I floored it a little bit too much. And mind you, the floors were wet, you know, they were just flooded, and I still did not have traction control on, and I floored it a little bit too much, so the power of my wheels with no traction on the road started spinning my car in the middle. Like, mind you, there's like 4 lanes, so from the middle of the major intersection, I spun from there all the way to the far left lane to then start where I then tried to spin to the other way so I wouldn't scratch my car across the curb. Mind you, I was still going like what, 40 miles per hour when I was spinning, and I was spinning all the way to the second lane to then the third lane. So then I noticed when I reached the third lane, I was facing traffic, which was then incoming towards me. So then I tried to get out of the way, which then when I floored it a little bit, I thought I was not flooring it that much, but then I spun out again, and when I was spinning out, I spun out straight into a light post, where then I was trying to slam in the brakes, it wasn't working, so I had to pull out my e-brake, and then my car halted, and my chest hurt so much because of the steering wheel and the seatbelt that hit me, and literally I was like, I don't know how to describe it. If you guys have ever seen those posts on Twitter where it's just like, how close am I to quitting school? This close. And it's like a car almost touching the wall, like by like what, 1 centimeter or so, like almost touching, like almost kissing, like you just want to like pucker up and say hi, basically, like that's gonna be happening. And that's how close I was to death, basically. The reason why I'm saying this is because if I hit it, the entire side of my car would, 1, be really fucked up and my airbags would probably deploy, or 2, if I did hit it a little bit hard enough, it would fall from its base and then land on my roof, which then would slam down onto my head and probably crack my skull open, and then I would be dying and not be able to make this video and entertain all of you. So it'd be a shitty situation. Unless you guys don't like me, then it would be a win for you guys, but if you guys do like me, then it would be a loss for you. So basically that happened, and I was just embarrassed because the traffic was still coming in towards me, and like all these people were just staring at me, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, okay, not my fault. Thank God there was no cop there to like write me up for reckless driving, even though, I mean, technically speaking, it was my fault. At the same time, it was. So after that, I was really embarrassed, and I just like took off. I noticed that I had traction control on, so I like turned it off. I had it off, and I turned it back on, and I just drove away, very embarrassed, and I went onto the highway, and I just drove straight back home. I sit in traffic crying a little bit. I literally got home, and I just went straight upstairs to my room, and I kissed my dog, and I just hugged my pillows, and I was just like, never again am I driving that car. And then like 20 minutes later, my friend asked me if I wanted to hang out, and well, I sped my ass to his house in sport mode. So I didn't learn my lesson back then, and then I learned my lesson during the drunk driver accident. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy today's story. If you guys did enjoy today's story, please drop a like, and don't forget to click that subscribe button for more enjoyable, pleasing content. And if you have ever been in a situation like this, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to know about the time you almost died, because I would love to know that I almost lost a subscriber, but I still have my subscribers, and basically like that. And also, if you guys do want to leave a comment on the AK Q&A, the video will be down in the description link as well. Well, I mean, that's kind of the point of it. So yeah, again, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.